So they started with verse number 74.
فانطلقا حتى إذا لقيا غلاما فقتله قال أقتلت نفسا زكية بغير نفس لقد جئت شيئا نكرا.
So they moved ahead until when they met a boy, he killed him. The boy, he, Musa, said, "Did you kill an innocent soul while he did not kill anyone? You have committed a heinous act indeed."
قال ألم أقل لك إنك لن تستطيع معي صبرا.
He said, "Did I not tell you that you can never bear with me patiently?"
قال إن سألتك عن شيء بعدها فلا تصاحبني قد بلغت من لدني عذرا.
He, Musa, said, "If I ask you about something after this, do not allow me your company. You have now reached a point where you have a valid excuse to part with me from my own side."
So verse number 74 till 76 tells about that they further move on, and on their journey they went to a place where they found some kids were playing. He grabbed one of the kids and took him on side and killed him. And when he killed this child, the Musa alayhi salam, being a man of Sharia, which is really obvious that killing anybody is not allowed, and killing a child for no reason was totally unbelievable. And Musa alayhi salam became furious, and he said, "Why did you kill the innocent soul, a child who has done no crime?" So in his Sharia, the punishment of the crime is murder, for the capital punishment, and that's what it was done. So Khizr alayhi salam said, "Didn't I tell you, you will not have patience with me? So you cannot work with me." So now the Musa alayhi salam said, "Okay, there are 2 strikes, and if I do any more further questioning with you, you can part me off and I will just leave. You have your job and I have my way, but I cannot comprehend this." So Musa alayhi salam, being a prophet of Allah, have certain knowledge which was not given to him. Not that he was disobedient to the knowledge, but he had a curious question. And not that we should be dumb not to ask questions. This is an example for us that if somebody is killing, this is a prophetic thing. Just thing one to understand. We just cannot kill anybody and say, because God inspired me. No, this is not what's going to happen. Khizr alayhi salam was a particular assignment, was given to educate Musa alayhi salam about that certain knowledge is given to certain people which you may not comprehend. Now some people say Prophet Muhammad did not meet Khizr alayhi salam, so that he is dead. You don't know. This is not something which we should know. But this is something between Allah and His Messenger. And there are abdun min ibadina. There's not just one Khidr. There are multiple of those people who have this special knowledge. They do a special thing. They do a special way. But we are not supposed to. With our knowledge, what we are, what Musa alayhi salam was, we cannot go kill people and say, because it was mentioned in the Quran, the story, so I'm going to kill a child or kill an adult. And many people have done that. Same thing about Ismail alayhi salam, when Prophet Musa alayhi salam, when he took him to slaughter, it was a prophetic call, not for us. And actually in Pakistan, one man tried to do this, and that was very, very hideous crime. You are not prophet of God, you are not messenger, and there's no more such commands are coming. There's no more such permission is given that you could take a life of somebody without permission or without unjust, because Quran says that whoever killed one soul unjustly has killed entire humanity. The one who saved a life has saved the humanity. So this is a story reference of Musa alayhi salam learning certain knowledge which he did not have, and these were given for the education for Musa alayhi salam, not for us to practice. This is something to be understood. The only thing to understand from this whole scenario is that there is a certain knowledge given to certain people by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which we should respect, but Sharia of Islam will be above all. If anybody does a crime, or kill a child, or kill an adult, or kill a person, or rape, or rob, or do a crime, he will or she will be judged on the Sharia now. Umar radiallahu ta'ala said, after Prophet passed away, he said, the Prophet was given inspiration and revelation by Allah, but no more now, because we will judge people on their present act. This is why the Sharia is a law of the land, and that's what is for the betterment of humanity. Otherwise people will start picking up kids and start murdering them. So that's not around. Let's listen to the next verse 77 onwards. The third incident, what happened.
فانطلقا حتى إذا أتيا أهل قرية استطعما أهلها فأبوا استطعما أهلها فأبوا أن يضيفوهما فوجدا فيها جدارا يريد أن ينقض فأقامه قال لو شئت لاتخذت عليه أجرا.
Then they moved ahead until they came to the people of a town. They asked its people for food, and they refused to host them. Then they found there a wall tending to fall down. So he, Qadir, set it right. He, Musa, said, if you wished, you could have charged a fee for this.
قال هذا فراق بيني وبينك سأنبئك بتأويل ما لم تستطع عليه صبرا.
He said, here is the point of parting ways between me and you. I shall now explain to you the reality of things about which you could not remain patient.
So verse 77-78 describe the third incident happened when they were going in a village, and the people of the village are very mean and unkind, and they were not very good to help the traveler, because in those days there were no restaurant, hotel to stay over. So people used to come, and for outsiders, whenever the travelers come by, people in the culture and every culture have been to tradition to feed them, to give them some help, to assist them to continue with their journey. So these people asked for food. The Prophet Musa and Prophet Khizr and Joshua or Yusha bin Nun, they were refused the food. And when they were way on the out of the village, they found a wall was falling, and Khidr alayhi salam said, Musa, help me out to build this wall again. So Musa alayhi salam helped it, but he goes, why are you helping these people? These are the people who were so unkind. They did not even give food to the traveler. They're so mean. You could have charged for the service. That could have been better. So now Khidr alayhi salam says, well, this is enough. Now this is parting time between you and me, because I am doing my job, which is being knowledge given to me by Allah, and I have certain knowledge which is given to me not on my own. So now he explained that what happened from verse 79 onward. So let's listen to this verse 79 and onwards.
أما السفينة فكانت لمساكين يعملون في البحر فأردت أن أعيبها وكان وراءهم ملك يأخذ كل سفينة غصبا.
As for the boat, it belonged to some poor people who worked at sea. So I wanted to make it defective, as there was a king across them who used to usurp every boat by force.
وأما الغلام فكان أبواه مؤمنين فخشينا
As for the boy, his parents were believers. We apprehended that he would impose rebellion and infidelity upon them.
فأردنا أن يبدلهما ربهما خيرا منه زكاة وأقرب رحما.
We therefore wished that their Lord would replace him with someone better than him in piety and more akin to affection.
وأما الجدار فكان لغلامين يتيمين في المدينة وكان تحته كنز لهما وكان أبوهما صالحا فأراد ربك أن يبلغا أشدهما ويستخرجا كنزهما رحمة من ربك وما فعلته عن أمري ذلك تأويل ما لم تسطع عليه صبرا.
As for the wall, it belonged to two orphan boys in the city, and there was a treasure beneath it belonging to them, and their father was a pious man. So your Lord willed that they should reach their maturity and dig out their treasure, as a mercy from your Lord. I did not do it on my own accord. This is the reality of things about which you could not remain patient.
So verse 79, 80, 81 and 82 describe those three reasons why Khizr al-Islam did what he did. First he said that the king on there was a tyrant. He would confiscate the boat of the poor sailors or the people who are working in that area, and he confiscated. But if there was any damaged boat, he would leave alone. So he said, I damaged it enough that it would be disfigured for the king to attack or take over, yet these poor people will make their living. Then he said about those two kids, that little child who I killed. Actually, the destiny of that child was that he was supposed to grow up to be such that would force his parents to disobey God and rebellious. So God says he will take this child away and give them a blessed child who would make them more righteous and pious and to be better for them. Then the third incident was that wall, it belongs to two. This is the beautiful verse, which is وَأَمَّا الْجِدَارُ فَكَانَ لِغُلَامَيْنِ يَتِيمَيْنِ فِي الْمَدِينَةِ. That belongs to the two young orphan children of the city. وَكَانَ تَحْتَهَا كَنْزٌ لَهُمَا. Under that, their parents have buried a treasure. In those days there were no banks, so they would dig a hole and put the treasure in the ground and pull the wall on it. And when the parent died, وَكَانَ أَبُوهُمَا صَالِحًا. This is the beautiful verse. That's the guidance for us. In this whole thing, there is that if your parents are good and righteous, God will save and preserve the children. It says وَكَانَ أَبُوهُمَا صَالِحًا. Their parents were righteous people. They were God-fearing, God-worshipping, God-practicing, commanded, followed, and obedient Muslims of the time. فَأَرَادَ رَبُّكَ. So that wall was falling. So God will, your Lord will, that in يَبْلُغَ أَشُدَّهُمَا وَيَسْتَخْرِجَهَا كَنْزَهُمَا. That when these two boys will grow up to be adult men and strong enough, because right now they are weak and poor, these villagers are mean and selfish, and they would, if the wall had fallen, the treasure would have been exposed, and they would have taken the treasures and the treasure which belongs to these two children, which God saved for them for the future. The God is the one who is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who save and preserve for the future. So Allah, if the parents are righteous, Allah saved their children from poverty and other hardship in the life. So we should make dua, we should supplicate for our children, and we should do the good deed that will come for our parents and children. So when it says that your deeds do not benefit others, your deeds benefit children. And then the hadith of Prophet is, when you die and you pass away, 3 accounts are open. One is that waladun salihun yad'u laha, that a righteous child who make dua for the parents or the deceased loved ones, and ilmun yanfa'u bi, the knowledge which is beneficial other, wasadqatun jariyatan, and a charity which is continuous to perpetuate. So as long as that happened. Osman radiallahu ta'ala anhu died 1400 years ago as the 3rd Khalifa of Islam. Today still in Saudi Arabia there's a whole orchard and garden, and there's a whole trust running, is still under his name, and that benefit thousands and thousands of people, and millions of dollars are being earned on that. There was an orchard of palm and date trees, and there's a water well, and so much revenues come from that, and all that is deposited in a bank account which is named under Osman radiallahu anhu. So we should establish charity, we should establish goodwill, we should establish institution, we should establish things so that our children, they will come and benefit for future from the rewards of it, and we will directly get the benefit of it. So this is something which we should know. So those selfish people who are going to steal the treasure from the children, but yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded Khizr al-Islam with the help of Musa al-Islam, rebuild the wall, and the time will come, Allah will make the wall fall off or treasure will be exposed, so those kids can take their treasure. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, then further he says, وَرَحْمَةً مِّن رَبِّكَ, this is a mercy from your Lord. وَمَا فَعَلْتُهُ عَنْ أَمْرِي, and he said, I have not done anything on my own free will. ذَلِكَ تَأْوِيلُ مَا لَمْ تَسْتَطِيعْ عَلَيْهِ صَبْرًا. So I did not do anything on my own will and whims. It was command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah gave Khizr al-Islam that knowledge which he did not give Musa al-Islam. So somebody is expert and a specialist in certain knowledge does not mean that he has to be perfect and complete. There are other people who are more knowledgeable. This is why it is advised to have a consultation. 2 brains is better than 1, and 10 brains is better than 2. So this is why we have been ordered to have a amr shura bainahum, that you should make decision by the consultation between group. Often people think that they are the complete knowledgeable and they are the all authority, and this is why Islamic democracy is that consultation. And when the consultation comes from the people of wisdom and people of community, that should be practiced. And actually this today US jury system is actually Islamic based. Do you know that? Jury system system, when people are called to be jury, the judge only announced the verdict, but the jury is supposed to be, this was first established by Muslim in Malta as a Muslim ruler. Malik was his name. He is the one who established the system where the people of the community of different background will be called to listen to the case, hear to the evidence, and to the victim and the plaintiff and the accused and defendant. Both will be listened, and after that the jury will determine whether who is at the justice, because one judge could be biased, could be bought, could be imposed, could be impressed, but the jury cannot be. This is why it is a consultation required. So having consultation and then make a decision. When فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ, then once you make a decision, stand firm on it. Allah will give you success. Often people fail because they think they are perfect, and they aql kul, what is called in Urdu, they have the complete knowledge and perfect. That arrogance that problem cause a problem. So next is reference is coming about Zulqarnain. Zulqarnain, a story about him is that he was, multiple stories have been narrated about him. Who is Zulqarnain? Zulqarnain is being also referred to that the King Cyrus of Persia. That is being referred that the Alexander would be sometime being called that he could have been the Zulqarnain, but that's not the case. This Zulqarnain was a king. Allah gave him a lot of might and power. He traveled through the world to conquer the world, and when he would go, he would try to fix the places. Could you please turn the mute on, because I'm hearing the conversation in the background, please? Thank you. So Zulqarnain is the second question, because this Ashab Kahf, Zulqarnain, and the third question was asked about the soul. So we heard this. We heard about the people of cave, and that was a question given to the Quraysh tribe when they went to ask the people of book, which is Jews and Christians, about this situation. So Jews knew about the Musa alayhi salam story, and Christian knew about the people of cave. Zulqarnain was before Christianity, or maybe after Christianity, we do not know. But that's the man who went and traveled to the far land, and he found, which is today, it is between what we call Russia and Persia, and that is the, some says it is the Uzbekistan. We do not know the truth about it. But then it is mentioned in certain things to be understood. It says, the Quran says, where the sun was rising and sun was setting. The sunset is relative to our position in the sun, as we know that the sun is around which the earth moves. Some Muslim scholar misunderstood it, that the sun is going up and down. It is the earth which is rotating, and the sun having on its own axis rotating as a whole solar system. And then Earth is the one which moves in position where it sees day and night, because sun is here and Earth is revolving for 24 hours. When it makes a circle around the sun, that becomes a year. And some Muslim scholars are very stubbornly saying that, okay, the word literal translation, when they take, they don't understand the concept. They say that the sun is moving and Earth is stationary, Earth is a flat land, and there's no a circle about it, which is totally wrong. So these verses are very little bit confusing. Apparently what happened here is that the Zulqarnain was asked by the people when he arrived in land that there was a nation of Yajuj and Majuj that is named in the Quran, and they are also known in Bible as Gog Magog, and these people were coming, invading this land, and will destroy everything. So Zulqarnain asked them to help me with material and help me with the building of the wall. So he built the wall, and between two mountains, which is somewhere referenced in many places in the Islamic history and literature, but we do not know it is absolutely that or not. So there is a nation behind it which is known as the Gog Magog, Yajuj Majuj. Apparently they are human. They are supposedly the nation which is descendant of Adam alayhi salam, or maybe another Adam or whatnot, but they are very once they come out, they will destroy everything. They will eat eat everything they eat. They drink to the point they will dry out the this Sea of Galilee, which is known as, they will drink it all off. So they will dry out the land wherever they go. So they will just desolate and destroy everything. So a lot of people have many other interpretation on this. We need to take it as what is described here. I do not want to speculate things. There are a lot of YouTube lectures on it, but the Yajuj and Majuj are two nations which Prophet mentioned. There are a lot of hadith about it. they will be revealed, or they will be coming out at the end time. And they are, a prophet says that they have been licking on the wall, and every night they say they've had a hole, they can come out of the wall, but then to forget to say inshallah. And the day when they will come out, one of them will say inshallah, tomorrow we will open the door or destroy the wall, and that will happen because of the inshallah. So significance is saying inshallah for doing anything. When Allah wills, Allah's will become your will, then you succeed. If Allah's will is not your will, because you didn't say Allah's will ahead of your will, then you do not succeed. So listen to this conversation, and inshallah we will begin with the verse 83.